What if the heart of Downton Abbey isn't the estate or the era or even the elegance, but one woman's fight to take control of her life in a world built to keep her in place? What if Lady Mary Crawley's story wasn't just about love, but about survival, reinvention, and heartbreak that shaped the future of Downton itself? And if the rumors are true, and Season 7 arrives by the end of 2024, there's one major question fans can't stop asking. What's next for Mary Crawley? Some fans are hoping for a twist. One Reddit theory suggests Mary might finally leave Henry Talbot, especially with actor Matthew Goode's other commitments and the visible lack of chemistry between him and Michelle Dockery. Imagine Downton Abbey diving into the scandal of a Crawley divorce. It would be a bold move, but one that could reignite the drama fans crave. From the very beginning, Mary Crawley has stood at the center of Downton Abbey's emotional storm. Introduced just after the sinking of the Titanic, the show immerses us in the shifting lives of the aristocratic Crawley family and their loyal servants during a time of enormous social upheaval. Mary's icy exterior conceals a woman with deep convictions and a quiet vulnerability, especially when it comes to love. Her love life has been nothing short of a roller coaster, equal parts passion, devastation, and endurance. And if Season 7 does arrive, it's likely that Mary's heart will once again be at the core of the chaos. In the early days of Downton Abbey, Mary was engaged to her cousin Patrick, but his death on the Titanic created a ripple effect across the entire estate. Suddenly, the question of inheritance became urgent. Mary wasn't overcome with grief, but she understood the consequences. That moment revealed her early sense of independence and belief in women's rights. But it was her brief encounter with the mysterious Turkish diplomat Kemal Pamuk that turned scandalous. Their flirtation quickly escalated into something far more intimate and disastrous. When Pamuk died suddenly in her bed, Mary was left with a secret that could ruin her. With Anna and Cora's help, she managed to keep it buried, though not without consequences. Even Cora referred to her as damaged goods, a brutal reminder of how unforgiving society could be, especially to women. As the series moved into its second season, Mary and Matthew Crawley's complex romance began to unfold. His proposal at the end of Season 1 seemed like the perfect solution, keeping the estate in the family, but Mary hesitated. The guilt of her past with Pamuk weighed heavily, and she believed Matthew deserved to know. The engagement crumbled before it could begin, especially after Cora's unexpected pregnancy offered the possibility of a new heir. Then came war. Matthew left for the front, and when he returned, it was with a fiancée, Lavinia Swire. Yet, despite the engagement, Mary's love for Matthew never disappeared. She turned to Richard Carlisle, a wealthy newspaper magnate, but the match lacked real connection. When Matthew was injured and left paralyzed, Lavinia stood by him. And after her tragic death, Matthew's guilt pulled him away from Mary once again. Mary's courage shone through when she broke things off with Richard, despite the risk of more scandal. Eventually, she and Matthew reunited, married, and welcomed a son, only for tragedy to strike once more. Matthew's sudden death in a car accident left Mary a widow and single mother. It was a gut punch that reminded fans how Downton Abbey never shied away from loss. Season 4 saw Mary drowning in grief. She wore black, moved through life in a haze, and barely spoke. Her family and the staff tried to pull her out of the darkness, especially Carson, who reminded her she had a son who needed her. Matthew's will named her as his sole heir, adding new layers of responsibility and purpose. New suitors appeared: Lord Gillingham, Charles Blake, and even Evelyn Napier. Gillingham pursued her with relentless charm, and Mary was briefly tempted. They even spent a private weekend together, scandalous for the time. But in the end, she turned him down. Despite the societal expectations, Mary stayed true to herself, embracing a more modern view of love and independence. Her confidant through it all was Anna. Their bond, built across class lines, gave Mary someone she could trust, a rare gift in her world. In Season 6, Henry Talbot entered the picture. A charming race car driver with a daring streak, He intrigued Mary but also terrified her. After losing Matthew, the idea of loving someone who risked his life for sport was too much. Eventually, though, she let herself fall. Their romance was sweet, if not electric. And by Downton Abbey, a new era, they'd welcomed a daughter, Caroline, into the Crawley fold. But not everyone was convinced. Some fans felt Henry was never the right match for Mary. His character appeared late. His connection to her felt forced, and Matthew Goode's limited screen time only added to the disconnect. Many viewers, especially longtime rewatchers, were more invested in Charles Blake, whose chemistry with Mary felt far more organic. There's also the issue of Tom Branson's matchmaking. Fans have pointed out how aggressively he pushed Mary toward Henry, just as he once did with Sybil, despite her clear uncertainty. It raised a bigger question. Was Mary ever truly in love with Henry, or did she feel cornered into another relationship to avoid being alone? If Season 7 becomes a reality, Mary's love life will likely be front and center once again. And maybe, just maybe, she'll finally get to choose herself over the expectations of others. What do you think? Should Mary leave Henry behind and rewrite her story one last time? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Downton Abbey updates.